Four eyes just now. What a night. Anthony Richardson, pick number 4. Standing by in the orange and blue room with France Beard, followed by Lauren Meadows and others. Joining us for the program, we have scheduled interviews. We may have to back them up. What do you think about it? Are you proud to be a Gator tonight? Yeah, the Gator quarterback drafted 4th overall in the NFL. What a night it's going to be. We're going to celebrate that and tell you more about it. Stay tuned. The Buddy Martin Show. Orange and Blue Blood Thursday on the air.
Yes, it's time again for Buddy Martin. Call him up and tell him what you're thinking. But be kind because he's doing the best he can.
Better, stronger, faster.
Mama says that alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth but no toothbrush.
Hey, what if the voice calls while you're gone?
Take a message.
Bye.
You ready, champ?
I'm ready for this my whole life.
I'm incapable of small talk. But that's why you love me, right?
Kind of intimidating to be in the presence of so many great athletes.
All right, good evening. Welcome to the program. It's a happy night for Gator fans tonight. Could use a little something to cheer about. And tonight, they got it. Their quarterback picked 4th overall by the National Football League to play at the professional level as predicted by many. And we thought maybe he was slipping and sliding if we believe some of the things that people wrote. Guess what? Didn't happen. Proud moment for Anthony Richardson and his family, all Gator fans. Let's go to the orange and blue room right now and talk to a guy who called it all the way, said forget what those people are saying. He's going to go high. Good evening, France Beard. You feeling pretty good tonight?
Well, obviously, I feel better than Mel and Todd. Todd McShay had him dropping to number 20. Mel had him down to number 12. And, of course, what's interesting is here, Mel Kiper, all of a sudden, Mel's never wrong, of course. You know that, buddy, right? Mel is never wrong.
Except when he combs his hair, then he's wrong.
But you listen to him, all of a sudden, stammering and trying to cover up for the fact that he had the guy going number 12. He was Indianapolis's guy the whole time. The entire time. I knew this. Rick Neuheisel knew it. I listened to Rick yesterday. And Rick said, this is a guy, Indianapolis is picking him, and here's why, and laid it out. I wrote about it today, what Rick Neuheisel said, and it makes perfect sense. The new coach of the Indianapolis Colts, what does he do? He takes quarterbacks and builds them from the legs up, which
Shane
means
Steichen.
Shane Steichen. He is looking for a quarterback, and he's going to take him, and he's going to run first. And what does that do? That makes the coverage single coverage the whole way, and you can't do complicated things like bracketing people in there because you can't have your cornerbacks and your safeties with their backs turned to the ball, and all of a sudden, here goes this guy picking up 40, 50 yards. You got to remember, this is a 6'4", 244-pound freight train who runs a 4.34 40. And for him, he's 20 yards up the field before anybody can turn around and look. So you cannot run complicated coverages. You got to have people to stay close by. This is what he did with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, if you remember, just set all kinds of records on the way to the Super Bowl this past year.
Yeah. Let's boil it right down to the essence, friends, of even more finite than that. This is a Gainesville kid, okay? A Gainesville kid, right here, our own, okay? I was talking to Chris Storing about this the other night. There's a lot of pride here, number one, that Gator fans can feel good about, and Lord knows they need some things to feel good about. And then you got a kid who played for Eastside, grew up here, was a Gainesville kid for the most part. he is making his hometown proud tonight. And I think even you feel a little tingle in that, don't you?
Oh heavens, yeah, and I know Anthony, and one of the things he said was, "Can't wait to take care of his mama," and I guarantee you, mama is going to get taken care of in
Mm-hmm.
fine, fine fashion, because Anthony right now is worth about $35 million.
At
Uh,
least.
I
Yeah.
know, I know people who are not yet 21 years old. He's not 21 till May 22nd, who have done worse, who have gotten off to worse starts in life than $35 million.
Pretty nice. And by the way, not bad for Vernell Brown. One of the good people, too, as well. We'll be going there
Yeah.
with him. And so we're happy for them. Well, in the end, sometimes you have to believe your eyes, okay? Now, I mean, it didn't take a lot to see the talent there in Anthony Richardson. We've all had our opinions about him. I love the guy since day one, and you know that. I've talked about him at a point with I said at the time, not that I'm a prophet, it didn't take anybody to figure it out, that I'd never seen a quarterback at Florida with the potential that he had. I'd never seen it, and I've seen a bunch. And then I saw this test yesterday Edgar Thompson wrote about, which a guy who was a cryptologist who worked for the certain military who figured out by his system of testing that Anthony Richardson projected to be the best quarterback of all time in terms of potential of anybody. Now, I know that's hard to quantify because we don't understand that kind of stuff. But, I mean, look, it didn't take a genius, friends, to see a guy sit up back there and throw the ball 65, 70 yards or run down the field and leap or to leap over players. People said when he's been in that game against South Florida, when he leapt over a player, well, that's not going to stand because that was an amazing play. I said, wow, I couldn't believe it. Now, sometimes it doesn't get you there. You can be a great player and you can have great potential. You don't get the chance. But this time, I think they got it right, friends. And I'd be really surprised if this guy wasn't a star in the NFL.
Well, here's the thing, you know, Shane Steichen, he's gone to the right quarterback, the right team with the right coach. It's kind of like, I've heard ever since Tim Tebow kind of went belly up as an NFL prospect, that given the right system, and I think Dan Mullen and Urban both would agree, given the right system, Tebow could have succeeded in the NFL. But Tebow was not going to make it as a pocket passer. Couldn't. I don't think Jalen Hurts would have made it as a pure pocket passer either. But what did Shane Steichen do with him? He made him a run first quarterback who also threw the ball and took the secondary and made the secondary adapt to the quarterback instead of the quarterback adapting to what the secondary does. And this is the thing. He's gone to a system that will be conducive to bringing out his skills. He's 6'4", he's 244 pounds. He has a 40.5-inch vertical. He did a standing broad jump at 10.9. He's got hands that make the football look like a mango. Really. And then you throw in the fact, at his pro day, he makes a throw 50 yards on his butt because he fell down and he throws it from his butt 50 yards. Then on top of that, he hits the ceiling. Oh my gosh. How many guys, the ceiling of the indoor practice facility, you couldn't ask for more arm strength. You're right, buddy, as far as untapped potential. And this is a guy, like I said, he's 20 years old. He's young. He's got his best years ahead of him. His physical development, I don't think he's even finished with his physical development yet. I think he could probably grow another inch. He might end up being 6'5" and 255 and running these numbers, which is entirely possible. He's physically strong. He's faster than anybody out there. And if he's in an offense, sort of like what Urban and Dan did with Tebow, you got to remember something. How many throws did we ever see Tebow make into tight windows? Really, not too many. And that's because
Except
the receivers.
the tight end pass every now and then. But no, you're right. The streak, whatever. We didn't. He was not known for throwing the ball real accurately.
No, but the thing about it is he didn't have to.
Right, because the receiver was open.
He had to get the ball in the general vicinity of the receiver who made the catches. And that's because that's the way the offense was designed. Very similar to what Shane Steichen did with Jalen Hurts. Florida's offense was designed around the Tebow running threat. And therefore, you had to respect that so much that the receivers, can you imagine Percy Harvin getting one-on-one? But that's what Percy got. Mm-hmm. And people always said, well, gosh, they're idiots not to double up on Percy. You can't when the quarterback can take off and get you 25 yards.
Yeah, and I heard the comparison to Donovan McNabb. I mean, I didn't ever see Donovan McNabb makes some of those athletic plays like Richardson. I mean, McNabb made some plays with his feet, no question about it. But and I know that Dan Bond said he likes the comparison to the two. But in my opinion, Richardson's bigger, stronger, faster than McNabb, and is and more athletic. So I've never seen anybody like Anthony Richardson. I just haven't seen him like it at the pro level, whatever. So, by the way, I should mention that this is only the fourth time in history that three quarterbacks have gone in the first four picks. Of course, Bryce Young going to Charlotte, as most people expected he would. And then you've got C.J. Stroud, a little bit of a surprise. Some people thought it might be Levis going to the Houston Texans. And then Houston turns right around and trades a pick and gets another one at the next pick. It's two picks at that level. And they take Will Anderson, who all we know is a tremendous player, and he's going to be an edge rusher in the National Football League. And now it sets up for number 4 in the Colts. And what we've been hearing, we've been seeing the Colts plane parked in the Gainesville Airport a lot. Why? Who do you think you're looking at? Number 15 for sure.
Oh, exactly. I mean, there is no question that the Colts were in love with him, and that's because they felt he is the best match for what they want to do offensively. And you put this guy out there like that who can get outside, is strong enough, physically enough to run on the inside, but he's fast enough to get outside too. And this was Tebow's problem. Tebow was strong enough to run between the tackles, even in the NFL. What he wasn't was quick enough to get outside. Anthony Richardson has no such problems. Anthony Richardson will outrun most cornerbacks in the NFL. And God forbid, would you like to be, I'll say, a 5'11", 185-pound cornerback? And here comes this 6'4", 244-pound freight train who runs a 4.36 with, say, 15 yards head of steam coming at you. Oh boy, he's going to. There's going to be some brown stains on the back of some white pants in the NFL.
We're having some inclement weather here, and there's some lightning popping outside, so we go off the air. That's why. And Franz, you got to go right in a second. Before you do, let's bring this guy. He's been gone for a while. He's back now. Lauren Meadows is back for the night for his trip over
been
France.
Scouting quarterbacks in Rome.
Yeah.
Not Rome, Georgia, but Rome.
Yeah. So we're going to the travel log tonight because of the breaking news. So welcome back, Lauren. And I know that you have a lot of strong feelings about Anthony Richardson, and I think it's a proud moment for everybody. And are you surprised at all that he went this high, Lauren?
No, I think when you looked at the draft and the prospects as a whole and the quarterbacks, I kind of had him anywhere between 4, 5, and 6. I figured with the way the draft was set up, I think the Colts at 4, Seahawks at 5, and I really liked the 6th pick. I thought I told somebody a couple months ago that I really liked him as a possibility to the Detroit Lions simply because the way the Lions are constructed. They got a pros pro as a head coach, a lot of former NFL draft NFL players on the coaching staff. And but I thought anywhere between 4, 5, and 6 would be a good place for him to land. So not really surprised at all. I mean, if you'd have told me at the beginning of the season in 2022 would he be the 4th pick in the draft, I'd have probably said no way.
Yeah.
But as the process went along, I'm not really surprised that he went anywhere between 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah. Lauren's gonna. France is gonna go right in just a second. But before he goes, let me throw one out on the table for all of us to talk about. Now we talked about, was he good enough to get drafted in a high position by a team that needs him, and and the answer is yes. And how long before we begin here? Yeah, but he's not very accurate. He won't be able to be effective. How quickly do you think he will be able to adapt? He's worked on his footwork quite a bit. Will he be able to adapt and actually start improving his accuracy at this high level? France, you go first.
Well, here's the thing, is he's got time to develop. And if they do the right thing, which is design the offense around him, which is what they did with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts doesn't make pinpoint throws. He may be good for 1 or 2 a game, but for the most part, Jalen Hurts gets the ball in the vicinity, and the receiver makes the catch. Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, they just get the ball in the vicinity of them, and they do the rest. And this is what you do when you design your offense around the skills of the guys you got. And we've seen too often, buddy, and you know this, you've been around a long time, Lauren too. Too many systems, they draft the quarterback and they say, okay, you